Hi everyone, Angelique Weiley here, and today's topic is phone etiquette. Now, a couple videos ago we went over email etiquette, and phone etiquette kind of is around the same concepts, but obviously you're talking one-on-one with somebody on the phone. So a lot of the things that you learned in our email etiquette class, you can kind of use some of those same principles. Obviously, your tone of voice, not interrupting, those type of things. Some of those things can convert to phone conversations, but we're going to learn a little bit more today about kind of the do's and don'ts of phone etiquette. Now, so whether you are working in an office setting or a retail setting, phone etiquette's obviously very important. You don't ever want to, assume to be rushed or trying to get the person off the phone fast. You want to make sure that your tone and how you're speaking to them is calm, always understanding, and that type of thing comes first. But really important, listening, especially if you're in a customer service type setting and you are talking to a customer on the phone. You want to make sure that you listen to the customer first. Listen fully without interruption so that you know exactly what their full complaint is. And then a lot of times the best thing to do is to kind of repeat. Now, this is my understanding of what you think the issue is, ma'am, and then repeat it. So make sure that it's clear, because the number one rule in complaints for customer service is if you don't have what the complaint is correct, and you try to fix it, and then you just make it worse because you fixed the wrong thing, it probably doesn't look good for your company, right? So make sure you listen. Take notes if you have to while you're listening, and then repeat after the person is completely done talking what you think the problem is and get their approval for what their problem is. That makes complaint handling a lot easier, honestly. When just talking about the phone itself, don't have your cell phone sitting on your desk at work ringing while you're on the phone with other customers on your work phone, right? They can hear that in the background. It's very distracting. Obviously, don't have distractions while you're on the phone. Don't be eating, don't be chewing gum, don't be texting, don't be reading and answering emails, don't have your mind wandering somewhere else during the time that you're talking to somebody. Give them your full attention. They're calling you because they have a problem and they are expecting your full attention. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't really get it. I don't really understand how I'm supposed to act on the phone. So put yourself in the customer's shoes. Let's just say you're calling J.C. Penney and you need to return a pair of pants that you got through the mail. How would you expect that person on the other end of the phone to treat you? That's how you should treat people on your end of the phone. Same way. So if you have a customer and they have a complaint, that is how you should treat them, is how you would want to be treated. Now, if you think you have to put a customer on hold for a long time because you need to call out to a warehouse to check status of something, or you need to do something, it's sometimes better to call back than put somebody on hold. Customers get very frustrated when they're on hold for quite a long time. But also, following up and calling them back when you say you're going to. If you say, I'm going to call you back within a half hour, stick to it. Call them back immediately. Very, very important. Also, if they say they're going to call you back, don't let the phone ring for more than 3 times. They'll get annoyed if it rings and rings and rings and rings and you don't pick up. Now, if you don't feel that you're staffed enough to answer all the calls, you need to be looking at that data as well. How many calls do you get in an hour? How many calls can one person pick up and answer and get through the problems and resolve? Are you having phones ringing over and over and over again? Do you need to hire somebody part-time or full-time to cover the phones? Make sure you always have enough people in your business answering phones. If you want to put somebody on hold, though, because we were talking about hold, make sure you ask permission and say thank you first. Don't just put them on hold. Say, I'm going to need to put you on hold. Is that okay? If they say yes, then say thank you. Or if they say no, well, then say, is it okay if I call you back? I don't want to be wasting your time. Be clear, be understanding. When you first answer the phone, identify yourself. Your company, make sure that they know they're calling the right place. I don't know how many times I've answered the phone and said, yo, what's up? Well, that's not professional, because then they're like, well, who is this? Did I call so-and-so corporation? And they're sitting there thinking that they're confused. Speak very clearly what your name is, because sometimes they want to write it down. They want to write down that I talked to Angelique on this date and she promised me blah, blah, blah. There are people out there that take notes, and it's okay, because because they don't trust in your company. If something goes wrong, they're going to call back next week and go, well, I talked to Angelique at 10 a.m. on she said. So remember that, speak clearly. They want to know who you are. Never engage in argument. These are your customers. You're supposed to be trying to keep them. Not to say that the customer's always right, but unless you have proof to prove that they're wrong, do not argue with them. You're going to make them mad. One mad customer makes 1,000 possible lost customers. All right, so that person's going to tell their friends and their family and everybody they know, and their friends are going to tell their family, and they're not going to do business with you. So be careful. You know the price of a lost customer. I'm going to do a separate video about that, so you know what the price of a lost customer is. Try not to take personal calls during work, period. It's not professional, okay? Emergencies only, but don't be carrying around your cell phone with you answering your private calls during the day. It's not professional. It's not good. And it's not looked upon you well from your bosses. And you know what? If you are the boss, you're not leading by example by doing it. So I wouldn't do it. Remember, it was just years ago that we didn't have cell phones. And how did we get along without them? We can get along without them. Never handle a complaint openly in an open office. So if you're in a call center and you're having somebody that's irate and you're trying to talk them off the ledge, do it in a closed office. Say, can you please hold for a second? I want to move myself to a closed room so we can talk. And close the door. And if things get a little heated, it does, but it's behind closed doors. You do not want to vent that kind of stuff on an open floor where visitors may come in, suppliers might come in, they may hear you arguing. You don't want anyone to know your business, right? Take it in a back room. Never sound rushed. Never sound like you want to absolutely get the person off the call. Like, I gotta go. Okay, bye-bye. Because that's not good customer service. And you know what? When you hang up, make sure they're the ones that hang up first. Say, have a great day. Do your closing of your call, and then say, have a wonderful day, and wait for them to hang up. Because that's very good customer service. And we always talk about the customer is king. And I'm not saying that the customer is always right, but it's very, very, very good idea to make sure that you're pleasing to them, because then if they tell their friends that they had a great customer service experience with you, they're going to come back to your business. People like quality of service over price a lot of the time. If they know that they could deal with you and you're easy to deal with and you have great customer service, you are steps above the rest. So go on out there, have the best customer service and the best phone etiquette you can, and go get them. Have a great day.